Hey tribe, what is up? Hope you're enjoying yourself playing chess. I'm enjoying myself. I've been completely tanking. It's like a completely unintentional sandbagging in Blitz. I'm kind of experimenting with chemicals and trying to figure out what my brain needs and what gives me the best sleep and what puts me in the best frame of mind for playing chess. So yeah, I'm down to around 1250 in Blitz, which is insane, considering I've been nearly 1500 before at my best. But that's not the point. The point is I am just in training, right? I am in my training camp, out in the snow like Rocky. I am working hard and working on this new repertoire, bunch of new opening ideas. And I'm enjoying myself. That's the point of it. Anyway, it's time for another chess short. So this one's been sent in by Ben Toosey. This is a 30-minute rapid. Both players are around 1250. And I know a little bit about this. I'll tell you what he told me in the message. He said that there were a couple of blunders early on, but then he spotted a mate in 7. Can you believe that? At 1250, you spot a mate in 7. So that's all I know about the game. We're just going to dive in and let's go. So we've got e4, e5. Excellent stuff. Oh, welcome to Vienna. And are we going to get the Vienna Gambit with pawn to f4? Got a new line, interesting actually, in the Vienna here. Yes, Vienna Gambit. Decline. So here what we do is we take, and if knight takes back, boom, d4, and you've got these two central pawns, and we go into the Halloween style line. Takes, okay, excellent, perfect, Ben. Great start, mate, so far. All right, let's go. So this knight's going to have to go somewhere. It doesn't really matter where it goes. If it goes here or it goes here. Obviously, it can't go there or there because it gets took. It can't go there because it gets took. Okay, so it's only got two squares. And either one, we play e5. Always e5. Perfect. Perfect so far. Okay, and now we have another knight with another problem. We had an awesome, really, really good Chess Bootcamp live session yesterday where we actually played through, now this is relevant, one of the games in this book. And if you don't own this book, guys, buy it. Irving Cherneff's Logical Chess Move by Move. It was first published in the 1950s, I think 59 or something like that. And it's recently been updated with algebraic notation. And Cherneff walks you through some classic games from the past, and he explains the thinking behind every single move. Now, what we did yesterday in our session was, so I have the breakthrough group, which is around the 750 to 1000 kind of territory, but everyone's welcome. So you can attend all 4 sessions every week if you want to. There's no problem with that. And so what we did was I had them play the winning side and trying to guess what the black player who won the game, trying to guess what the black player played. And we worked it through, and I explained Cherneff's interpretation, his comments and his notes on there. And then at the end of it, I had them try and remember the game from black. So I played as white, and that was really, really interesting. Now, the reason I bring that up is because one of the, I would say, the key features of that game is how frequently in that game, black attacked white with tempo and caused white to play things that he didn't want to do. And this is like one of those situations. So here we've had a move hitting the knight with tempo. Tempo is just the Italian word for time. It means that you make your opponent almost waste a move doing something he doesn't necessarily want to. And here, yeah, he's grabbed a pawn, now he's being forced back. But here again, now we are just gaining space up the middle here, right? Now this knight has a problem. So this knight now has to move. Okay, and this is a common idea. We see it in the Vienna Gambit accepted, right, which is slightly different. We don't have the knight there normally. And in the Vienna Gambit accepted, what you play is queen e2. So what the queen is doing here is she's actually pinning this pawn, so the pawn now can't take here because it would put the king in check, right? And that would be illegal. You're not allowed to do it. So in the Vienna Gambit accepted, what we do is we normally break the pin with queen e2, thereby reinstating this. Now the knight still has a problem and still has to disappear back, because he still can't go here or here because of our queen, and he can't go here because of our knight takes, and that's a very, very nice move in the Vienna, and he can't go here because of queen and knight. Double teamed. Okay, so Ben plays queen e2. So far so good, and the knight retreats. And now look at this situation. Let's step back, look at the board. White has all the play in the centre. Now this knight is eyeing up this pawn, which is currently undefended. So if it's attacked and undefended, the word is hanging. So I would say at this point that knight f3 makes a pile of sense, because it defends this pawn, extra defends this pawn, and also, very importantly, defends h4, preventing queen h4 check. Now queen h4 check isn't a huge problem right now, because we have g3 hitting the queen, breaking their check, right? And there's no queen e4 check options either, because our queen is there, and so is our knight. So happy situation right now for white. So what does Ben play? Of course, knight f3. Man after my own heart. And queen b4. Right, the idea, I guess, of queen b4 is it's a second attacker on this pawn here. It's also eyeing up this, which kind of de-encourages the bishop from going to e3. By the way, no one will get that reference. Nobody will get that reference unless you're a fan of slightly obscure 90s British alternative comedy. Okay, anyway, gold star to anyone who does. So we are de-encouraging the bishop from defending this pawn. So what can we do? One idea is maybe to push d5. I mean, it looks mental. We really don't want the queen coming in here, right? But this, and the knight, again, can't go here. Well, it can, though we'll just trade off. Just trade off in that situation, which is not bad, actually, for white at all. What else have we got? This knight's actually pinned by the queen. So it's not a bad move from black. You've got rook b1. That's a thought, which means that you're going to end up castling short, which is not a bad thing because we've got the semi-open f-file. Get your rook on f1, and that's all good. So that's I think one idea. And I think idea number two is pushing d5. Okay, but this is a mistake because Ben has failed to count attackers and defenders, right? You don't even have to take your socks off for this one, right? This is one defender, two attackers. I would imagine we're going to have... Oh, no! No! Pardon me, forgive me. I am a fool. And I'll tell you for why, right? I'm a fool because the queen is under attack. Now, if the queen were not under attack, then black would have knight takes, okay? And then if knight takes, back queen takes, and black wins a knight for a pawn. But that ain't possible right now. Knight can't take. Well, it could, actually. Knight takes, we take queen. Knight takes queen, we take knight. We win a knight, right? And here's the problem. The problem is that the queen's under attack. So that, yeah, if knight takes, we take the queen. If queen takes, don't work, because knight takes queen, and we win. So the queen has to retreat. Great move, Benjamin. Excellent. You might be a Benedict, I don't know. It might just be a plain old Ben. Who knows? Anyway, now from white's point of view, so that wasn't a mistake. My mistake. Bishop d2, I like. Right? And another thing that came out of this game yesterday that we worked through from logical chess was the number of kind of positives where Chernev, as a commentator, would say, here are 6 good things about this move. And even like it was knight f3 on move 2, right? So the game was e4, e5, knight f3, and Chernev listed 6 positives about knight f3. 6 reasons why knight f3 is good. So a big thing in chess is when you can find moves that achieve multiple things in one. Now, What I like about this is bishop d2, A, we're getting ready to castle, right? And that would put our rook in the center. And B, we're preparing potentially a discovery against the queen. So like knight to here, something like that, looking at there. And then the bishop on d2 would be hitting the queen. So that's an idea. Right now, a light squared bishop has problems, which would... So there's a case to be made for moving the queen off of this diagonal somehow. I don't know, where? Queen there? So you don't want to block this diagonal, you don't want to block this diagonal either. So maybe queen e4 is an idea, but I kind of fancy that move. Okay, excellent, Ben. He's channeling me. This is fantastic, or I'm channeling him. Super. Okay, black plays queen b6, now reinstating his interest in the b2 pawn. So now, for me, castles look supernatural. But no, queen b5. Queen b5 proposing a trade of queens. Now, this is really interesting because the kind of strategy about when you should seek to exchange material and when you shouldn't is one of those kind of endless quests in chess. So here, white is up in development and up in space, well up in development. You've got 4 pieces off the back rank here to black's 2. So it seems to me that trading off material, okay, for one thing, when you've got more space than your opponent, it's inadvisable to trade material because your opponent is cramped. Right now, the opponent can't get the knight out there, can't get the bishop to any of these squares, right? So these 2 pieces are awful. Knight can only come here, terrible, and get hit, right? This bishop can't get out, these rooks can't get out. Black's nowhere. Black is nowhere right now. And so when you are cramped for space, as black is here, it makes sense to trade off material. You reduce your opponent's control of the board. You potentially create more squares where you can develop your pieces safely, right? So that's one reason. Another reason is that because of all these factors, because black is so poor right now, it seems to me that what white should be thinking about is launching a quick offensive. And this ain't it. Right, trading off material now is a waste of everybody's time, and I think only favours black. So I would suspect that in the analysis, the computer would say at least an inaccuracy, possibly a mistake. Anyway, so if I was black, I'd accept the trade. No, black is a dummy. And now, if white wants to trade, if he does want to trade, then he messes up black's pawn structure by forcing black to capture outwards, creating 2 pawn islands. In fact, no, I correct myself, 3 pawn islands. That's what it would be, right? Even so, still, yeah. And of course, we're still defending this pawn, so he's gonna, yeah. So Ben trades off. So that isn't as bad, right? If black had initiated the exchange, that would have been better for black. This way, this ain't good, because look, we've got 3 pawn islands. And that, the reason why that's bad is because it's hard to defend that many different bunches of pawns in the endgame. And the reason is because a team of pawns, for example, could create a chain where you only have to defend the back one because the other pawns are defending each other, right? Here, you could create a chain, 1, 2, 3, okay? And then you've got this singleton on his own, who cannot ever be defended by another pawn. So that means it must be defended by a piece. Otherwise, it's super vulnerable. Yeah? And that means that your pieces are going to be busy defending stupid pawns. Right? Instead of trying to attack and destroy your opponent. Right? And that's why these multiple pawn islands aren't a good idea. Anyway, so the big question now is, which way to castle? My spider senses tell me bishop c4 targeting f7 Makes a lot of sense. The knight can jump in there, right? I think develop is the name of the game, and then possibly short castles. Possibly short castles. Get the rook to the centre ASAP. Here, we get a rook on d1, which is looking at the back pawn of a pawn chain, right? Another idea is d5. Still d5. So if d5, knight can't go there, or there, or there. Knight's going to have to retreat, guys. It's got 4 dark squares it can go back to, but they're all back. And they're all not good. So d5, strong argument for that. Or bishop here, or possibly castles. Ben chooses something completely different. Knight d5, targeting c7, king, rook, fork. Yeah, makes sense. Now, the question is it a genuine attack? Does it have teeth? And I think actually it does here, because the bishop can't defend because of the pawn. So actually, and the knight can't defend, it's on the wrong colour square, right? The knight could only move to defend that dark square if it's on a dark square now, because it would move to a light square, which would then defend the dark square, right? Knight cannot move to defend a dark square from a light square, because it will go to a dark square and then it's only looking at light squares, because knights change colour every time they move. So bishop can't defend. The only way to defend is king d8. Okay. Right, so this breaks the forking opportunity. And now, yeah, knight c7 doesn't make any sense, because king just moves here, attacks the knight, forces the knight back, and there's nothing gained. So I wouldn't play that. I would not play that. I would... you still need to develop this bishop. So I think, yeah, when you think in terms of, if I do this, what's my opponent's best response? You know, can my opponent just nullify my attack? Well, yes. And the thing is, black's king was never going to castle long side anyway, right? Because it's on a semi-open file, pointless. Black's king wants to go there, so this rook move does not harm black in any shape or form, and so we've now got a knight that was on a defended square, is now in the centre, but also undefended. So we have this. Oh, he goes in anyway. No. What's the point in that? And now you've just wasted a move, right? Here's the thing. You've just burned a tempo, Ben. Right? Oh, I've given check. I've attacked your knight back. Oh, I've come back, right? And now it's black to move. Right? This is now a pause moment in the game. But black has the initiative. Yes, you've caused black not to be able to castle. But there's no queens on the board, so it becomes less of an issue, because the attacking opportunities are now less brutal. Ooh, actually, hang on, you had a hanging pawn all along. What am I thinking? By the way, there's going to be like 5 comments in the thing saying, you had a hanging pawn on b6. Oh, whatever, yeah. There's a hanging pawn, dude. Why don't we just grab that? That's much better value. Anyway, so knight comes in, knight comes back, and now it's black to move. Black now attacks our knight, so now we grab the pawn, yeah? Yay! We got ourselves a pawn. Excellent. Right, black plays this. Now we have a slight tissue, because we've got 2 attackers on this pawn. The good news is you can solve that with c3, or bishop c3, but c3, you don't want a bishop to be doing a pawn's job, do you? So I think c3 is the only reasonable move, unless you want to go and take out a bishop, but no. In general, you've got a knight deep inside enemy territory, right? You've invested a lot of time getting this operative behind enemy lines. Do not sacrifice him for a sleeping clergyman. No, right? No. Do not do this, right? Never do that. Because this it's not developed, it hasn't moved, it's fast asleep, okay? And your knight is a monster, so you never trade that. Oh, Misa like this. So we've been talking about this move d5 for a bit. Knight can't go there. Can go there. and trade himself off, which does actually improve this knight. So we're giving black a little bit of play here. And also there is a case to be made that these pawns maybe are somewhat overextended. This one's defended once. This one's currently defended by that knight. But we would really like to have our rooks behind these pawns. Yeah, but we haven't, because we've been dicking about with minor tactics instead of completing development. Okay, black comes in here. Do we trade? We do. Now we get to kick the knight away. Kicking the knight away. Can't go there, can't go there. Oh no, we don't get to kick the knight away, because look, it comes here with a forking good opportunity. So castles now. Okay. All right, bishop d3 achieves what we want to do. That's good. I mean, castles would be fine. What I like about castles is it gets a rook straight on d1 behind one of our very advanced pawns. Okay, this is also a decent move because we develop, we give ourselves the option now to castle either side, and we achieve objective number 1, which is to defend the pawn. So jolly good move. Right. Now, you see, you get a feeling of how black is starting to edge his way into this game. Right? Suddenly black is able to develop his own material. And now this knight is under attack, so pretty much has to come back here, really. Could come here and hit the bishop back in return. Okay, comes back to c4. It's generally better. It's closer to the centre. Kicks the knight. Again, that's one of those moves. That's one of those kind of beginnery moves where you're making a pawn move. You don't even know if white's going to castle that side. So, you know, is throwing the pawns up the board sensible now? Who knows? Who knows? Because white may castle this way and put his rook here. And quite honestly, should the knight come here, bishop takes, pawn takes, that's not the end of the world. It means white's got this blockage, this plug of pawns here that's stopping this pawn coming forward. Or the knight simply retreats here. Huh. Right, this is a counterattack. Question is it a good one? Right, so we've given check. The king's already moved once, so moving for the king is not a major problem. If we come here, we've got another check. If he comes here, we could give check with the knight, or we could just retreat the knight. So king goes there, right. Now this king moves, and we've got this as well on that diagonal, which is kind of sexy. We've got to make, look, still our own king is not protected though. Okay, so now if here, king can't retreat. So that's out. So pawn here, king can't stay there. King has 1, 2. No, can't go here either because the knight's covering. So the king has to go step onto a light square, and then bishop e4. And that if the king's on this square, it's mate. So the king has to go here if we push the pawn. Okay, so king has to go to b7. Yes. Is this the forced checkmate? Now bishop e4. Oh, not bishop e4. But with knight... Oh, the king's got this as well. Is this the forced mate that Ben talked about in his message? Here. And now king can't go there or there or there. So he has to go to one of these. King goes to there, now attacking the knight. b4, defends knight, attacks the bishop. Obviously, only move. Okay, so it seems like this is maybe not the forced mate. Takes bishop with check, king takes knight. Bishop drops back down to d2 with check, yeah? Yep. King now can't go back of here because of the pawn. Can't go here, has to go there. I think we're out of checks, aren't we? Do you know what? I would probably just castle now. Or maybe this. Hit the knight and then bishop here. Or even this. Immediate c4 and this. Castles. Rook here. Yeah. So that was my first idea, but then I thought this and allowing... Oh no, because knight takes bishop. Ah. Okay, rook here. In, and this is going to force the king back to there. And now if the rook retreats, it's not check. Okay, king there. Oh yeah, hang on. So rook takes knight. Checkmate. Takes pawn with check. Okay, so that's like a windmill kind of thing. Giving the king another thing. And that is mate. Can't go there, can't go there, can't go there. Okay, good. But I suspect that this was checkmate also. Let's have a look. No, this is check because pawn push. And that's checkmate. Excellent. Wow. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Very good game. Excellent start. I'm going to have a quick look at the game review because I'm tempted. Ben said he made a couple of blunders. I didn't see any blunders in there. Ah. No, apparently, 2. Queen e2 is not the move. This gives away free material, allows knight takes d4 with tempo on the queen. Okay, so in this situation, in the Halloween line with queen blocks, the best move is bishop blocks the pin. So let me, just while we're here, just to show you what I do, I'm going to open up my study on Lichess. Okay, and we're going to go... do we even have a line? This is Vienna Gambit declined. Okay. Okay. All right, and this is so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete that. I'm going to create a new chapter for the Halloween line. Am I out of chapters? Oh, it's you have to scroll down. Okay. So Halloween line. So this is what I do. Okay, and we play da 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 da, and the Halloween line comes from Vienna Gambit declined, with knight out to here, defending the pawn. Seems sensible. Takes. There. And then this is what we saw, right? And that is then a blunder, right? So the move is bishop to e7, and I'm going to add a comment there. Bishop e7 is bishop, not queen e7, because of knight takes d4, hitting queen, right? And there we go. So that is now in my notes. And it's now lodged precariously inside my nut. Okay, so that was blunder number 1. And this is a blunder, because the best move was attack the queen, which would have equalised actually for black. So Ben, remember that. You can also use my my Vienna study as well. Right, and there's another blunder here. Yeah. So I said in the commentary, that's at least an inaccuracy, maybe a mistake. Machine says, bam, bam, blunder. We've gone from +8. +8, guys. Because of this massive advantage that we have in the middle of the board. Material's absolutely bang equal. But the machine is saying, you might as well have 8 more pawns, right? 8 more pawns. Right? You are that good. And this is just unnecessary. Okay? Ignores an opportunity to threaten winning material. Best move was... Okay, which did come later actually. So we're threatening the queen, we're threatening c7 with fork, and the queen actually can't go there. Wow, that's why you're +8, mate. You're +8 because of that killer move, which we didn't see in the game. So there you go. Very, very nice chess short. Thank you very much, Ben, for sharing. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to Chess Bootcamp if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you soon.